Alright, so ever since Mordhau's official release, there's been no shortage of people discussing the weapons and equipment in this game, and discussing the types of players they run into who use those weapons and equipment. So I thought it'd be fun to make a list and go through all the weapons currently in the game and talk about the stereotypes and the kinds of players associated with each one. Before I go any further, though, I do want to say that this is just my own personal opinion. It's based on my experience in the game and discussions I've had with other players, and it's just for fun. If I say something about a weapon or a playstyle that you like to use, it doesn't mean that the negative stereotypes apply to you. It's just
like your opinion, man.
Okay, big boy pants on? Then let's do this. If you're on front line, then expect to see this guy trying to charge the point. He'll be right up in the fray, and he'll usually try to push through them with his speed and break their lines. Most people using this sword know that it's throwable. Ah! And if they hit you in the head, you're fucking dead and poor. Okay, so once I saw this guy with 2 falchions and a buckler, so that he could chuck the first falchion and then just keep swinging with the second. That guy was mad crazy. But that is a great loadout, and I love it. The buckler saves you stamina, and the falchion just hack, whack, chop that meat. The Rapier. An elegant weapon for a more sophisticated age. Perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
It used to be the rapier was a sign of nobility and status. When I thought of the rapier, I would think of the Three Musketeers, Errol Flynn, and swashbuckling movies. But nowadays, I think this is more how people view rapier users. Yeah. This is the easiest stereotype to cover. We all know this one. These guys probably have the stab, rebound to mouse 1, and they're using a shield. They will focus you down. They'll stab at you over and over and over and over until either you're dead or one of your teammates lops off their head. I'm pretty sure these guys are the ones who complain about them all being overpowered, but they also play with short spear and shield. And I bet you they would support the spear and horse being a legit playstyle. It's not that everyone hates rapier mains, it's that we despise them. The short sword is usually the first one-handed weapon most people purchase. I think it's because it's familiar and it's iconic. It's probably the most recognizable weapon next to the longsword, but unlike how it's portrayed in movies, it's not strong enough to stand up against most two-handed weapons alone. If they do know what they're doing, a lot of their attacks are just going to be stabs, and they're going to have to get real close. And whenever they're not stabbing the heck out of you, they're going to throw their weapon right at your face. Let's be honest, most people who are using the short sword just don't know that the arming sword is way better. The arming sword is one of the few one-handed swords that people actually use as a main weapon. I mean, it hits well, it throws well. But if you do see someone with an arming sword as a backup, then it means he's confident in throwing his main weapon. And they know it's no slouch either. I can't talk about the one-handed swords and not touch on a type of player that I see a lot on the battlefield. You know who I'm talking about. That one merc out there with a light build and a sword.
What's up, Richard?
Running around like a little spaz, swinging their main weapon and thinking they're Legolas or some kind of anime character.
Anybody got an extra scratch?
And they'll always have a backup sword just so they can throw it, even though they always miss. I'm not gonna lie, 90% of the time, this is...
If you say so.
A lot of the time I see the cleaver used as a sidearm for mercenaries who want a solid melee weapon that's also a deadly thrower. Most of the time you'll see the cleaver on default archers. And if you see someone using a default loadout, well, I mean, they don't know what they're doing. Or they do. Either way. Charge!
We're not ordinary people. We're morons.
Here we see the ever clueless default archer.
I'm gonna fight with 3 dudes with my fists. I killed a guy with just my fists. Nice.
The Dagger, a classic backup, except it's really not that great, you know? I mean, you'd be better off with anything else, including a rock. Let's be honest, if you have this in your hand right now, you've either thrown your weapon or you've lost your weapon. You're out of options, and it's either use this dagger or use your fists. The only people I see using daggers as a primary weapon are those sweaty, try-hard ninjas.
You know what? All of you better duck, because I'm about to turn left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick.
I'ma stick you in the schnoz. Believe it!
Beat it, punk!
What's my name? Hi, my name. My mama didn't name me. What's my name, nigga? What's my name?
Eat this! Just who the hell do you think I
Yeah! Tonight!
Dankeschön, right? Isn't that what you were speaking, Kraut?
So that's the first part for one-handers. I'm working on the second one already. So we're going to cover the axes, the blunt one-handers, and everyone's favorite, Spear Boys. So I'm sure everyone's looking forward to that. I already feel completely filthy that I even had to touch a rapier to make this video. These are just my opinions. I'm just trying to make jokes. Granted, they might not be the best jokes. Granted. If you have stereotypes for these weapons that I missed, put them down in the comments below. It's always cool to hear from you guys, to hear different stereotypes and loadouts that you guys like, and things you see other people using. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Later.